So it's been busy. We've had family here for the last week and we've still got my dad here, and it's time to get back outside and get some of the work done that we've promised Tracy. So one of the reasons that we got Dad back out was so that he could help us create a nice area for Tracy, and we've been promising for the last 2-3 years that we're going to look at the cottage and get that properly faced off, get it properly lime rendered again, and have it looking beautiful, because it's a part of the chateau and we want it looking nice, and we want it looking nice for Tracy as well. It is really important to us. So a few things to do first. We've got to get scaffold up, we've got to get all the old render knocked off as well, and we could just cover it all. We could cover it all right now with render and it'd be done and it'd be nice and easy, but in 2-3 years time we'd be knocking all that render off. So it's worthwhile us taking our time, taking all the old render off where it needs to come off and actually get it put back on again. Terry's got jobs to do inside the chateau, so Terry's looking at the flooring again. So we do have all these pieces, but it's like a huge jigsaw puzzle and it's trying to find out where they go and where they belong. So he's going to start doing that and start repairing the floors. We've still got a massive area to do in the billiard, and we've still got a huge area to do in the dining room as well. So getting all that sorted. And Tracy's happy with the hammer. Tracy is going to be looking at getting the ceilings down. Now we've got 2 ceilings left to do in the actual right hand side of the chateau. So we've got the entrance hall and we've got the little boot store as well that we're going to need to get sorted. So the roofs need to come down, and it's for 2 reasons really. It's so that we can replaster it so that it looks good, but we can also run all the electrics, we can hide everything, we can fix all the damage done here in the 50s and 60s when they've ran electrics over the top of the panelling, which is absolutely hideous. So this gives us a chance to do all that, so we better crack on.
Putting the same flooring back down as well, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully we can use the same. Let's lift them up. So the beams just run right the way across. Down to
here.
So we know how to go back down. Clear that out for now.
Got it?
Yeah.
That takes straight outside.
Yeah, you can do.
Where's somebody going?
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, that's all this little room emptied out. Now, the reason we've started on this and taken the floor up is just so we can actually see what's underneath it. Now, in here is where we uncovered the tunnels at the bottom section. And on this top part, we don't know exactly what it was used for. So we think a lot of people have said that it might have been a pantry or where they'd stored the silver, stuff like that. Now, when we've looked along the walls, the whole walls were lined in wood, and we're thinking it was the same as the top on here, which was the trompe-l'oeil. So they've created this wood effect throughout the whole of the room. Unfortunately, we haven't got any of it left apart from this part on the door here now. But it's great to think what it would have been like at some point. And I think just over the years, when obviously the roof's filled, it's rotted the floor, and they've just pulled it all out and replaced it with another floor. But we've got this out now. There was a step that went up to that level. So we're gonna take the floor right the way through, so it's all one continuous level. And then we'll see what we're gonna do with the space a bit later on. But we just wanted to get the first bits up just to see what we could actually do with it and what would be possible. So now that's sorted, I need to crack on and start looking at getting the floors sorted in here in the dining room and some other places. So I'll look at that. Well, that's part of the floor down. So I've managed to get the first stage all sorted. And even like this, it's looking brilliant. So I've managed to dig out all the dirt that was there, because there's obviously been a build up from when we've took the top down, and just build up over the years as well. So getting all the dirt out and then building the sort of subframe and then getting the OSB board on top is fantastic. It just looks like a floor now, which is good. But the next stage is going to be getting all of the parquet flooring back in place. Now, each of these window recesses has obviously a specific so each of these window recesses has a particular design, where the herringbone parquet sort of goes off in like a bit of a diamond shape, just to make it a little bit more complicated, as always. So it looks beautiful when it's done and it's all sanded and we've got all of the like finished coat on it. But at this stage, obviously we haven't got the flooring, and I'm going to have to make it. So that is going to be my next job. Now, I've still got a few pieces there that I might be able to use or to get the sizes from, and obviously the design with it. But I'm going to have to pretty much make the whole thing fresh and new out of bits of sort of flooring that we've got left over from other rooms and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to rummage through, see what oak flooring we've got, what lengths we've got, and to make sure that the tongue and groove is the same as well, because not all of them are exactly the same, and not all boards are the same width as well. So just to make it a little bit more complicated getting these jobs done, I'm going to go and check in the barn, bring them up, and then we can start looking at what bits we can get done with it. But I'll show you now what we're up to and then go from there. So this is what I've just finished, which I know it doesn't look much, but to me it's brilliant. Love it. Now we can actually walk on it, and it's completely solid. And this is going to be the last window, bay and flooring that I have to do, which I'm excited about after doing, what, about 5. But that's all done. Now, Mum's working in the little sort of vestibule. She's going to be taking all of the roof down. But some of the parquet flooring, so these are like some of the other bits that we've got. Now, they've just got woodworm all over them, as usual, and they're just crumbling a bit. So I'm going to have to sort through to make, obviously, the flooring, which will look like this. So as you can see, it's got this square piece in the centre, and then all of them work out from there. So you've got these ones going that way, and these ones going that way, and then one's going that way, and then one's going that way. So it's going to be quite difficult to get it all sorted. And then not only that, but it's got like a sort of like a little chamfer, because the window bays come in. So once I get to the end, I need to get this angle right as well, just so it follows right the way around. So yeah, that's going to be my next challenge, and go from there. Well, getting there with the floor, and it's looking fantastic, getting all of this together. But now I'm getting on with it, I've got another concern with it. So we've got the old parquet floor, which some of the bits are still relatively good and I can use. And then we've got the new parquet floor that I'm using, which looks a lot darker. Now, obviously I'm worried in case when we get them down, it's going to look completely different colours once they're all sanded and then we get the hard wax oil on them. So just to put my mind at ease and not do all this work and then having to rip it up, what I've done is I've sanded one of the old ones down and one of the new ones, and I'm going to try some of the hard wax oil on just to see what it looks like, so I can leave it till tomorrow to dry and then we can go from there. So I'm going to get this on and then hopefully it all matches in. Find my paintbrush and get this on. So first impressions putting it on, it looks fantastic, which is good. So I'll show you them now. So getting them both on, they're looking really close, to be honest, which is really good. So I'll be able to go ahead and crack on using the wood that I'm using to get the rest of it done. And then once it's all in place, we can get it in the threshold, get it all in place, and then hopefully when it comes to the time when they're all getting sanded and getting all finished, it will all just blend in. Otherwise, it'll just have to be. But yeah, that looks a lot better than what I expected, which is good. So I'll crack on.
haven't we all been busy again? So work going on everywhere right now, which is what we always love, and you guys love it as well, because we're able to show you all the things that we've been up to. So in here, Tracy's got all the ceiling down now. It might not seem like a lot, but you would not believe the amount of plaster, the amount of lats there is, the amount of work that goes into just taking the ceiling out. Now, this is where the work begins, but it's good for us. It's good for us for a number of reasons. It means that we can treat all the joints that we've not been able to get to before. It means that we can actually make sure that they've got a good coat of woodworm treatment, so we're not going to be plagued with problems in the future. And then we can get all the plasterboard back up and hide all the electrics and all the insulation underneath it, which needs to be done. And Tracy's obviously been busy in here, but Terry's also been incredibly busy in here as well. And again, we knew that there was problems, obviously, from the surveys that have been done. The floors were in an awful state. So again, to see the start work going in this, to be able to see the foundations going in, so Terry can put our new floor down to make it all look a complete piece again, because again, since we've been here, this has never been a single complete piece. We've always had floors missing and work that's needed to be done. So we're at a point now where we can actually see all these little jobs ending, and it is really good. Obviously there's paneling off everywhere, which Terry's been working on as well, but it is starting to take shape, and you can see that the way that it's going to go. And again, with Terry's attention to detail and what he's able to create with these rooms, we know that going forward we have to do these little bits now, because otherwise it'd look awful. You'd notice it, and we just want perfection, and that is exactly what we're aiming for. And while we've been at it, Terry's been in here, surprisingly, looking at our old beams. So this right here is a 301-year-old beam. Now, we've been worried for so many years, so many years, that these are in awful condition. We didn't know the state of it. We didn't know how bad it was. We had it looked at, and we've been told that it's not moved in 100 years or more. And we actually now agree that that is the case. These beams are like concrete, and it's hard to explain how hard they are to drill in, to get anything into them. So we are over the moon. We're happy that this is a solid piece of wood. It's not going anywhere. It's not shifting. It's not budging or moving. So we're in a place now that we can start looking at getting all this reconstructed and getting the plaster redone over it. We're in a good place with it, that's been the major concern of this whole renovation. This room has been the major concern because of this beam. And now we can see it. We can see the state that it's in. We can still see it in one piece. We know it's in a good condition. So it's not a bad place, and we're not going to have to spend thousands to try and fix it, because it's already been done. And work has been done on it to strengthen it and to support it in the not so distant future. Probably 100, 150 years ago, that work's been done. So we're happy now. We know where it's at. So again, Terry's been working hard to recreate the floor for the dining room, which that isn't an easy feat. You have to understand that there was about 300 pieces of wood, and they weren't in any sort of organised order in that storeroom that we had at the end of the dining room. They'd just been all flung in after the surveys had been done to get them out of the way. So Terry has had to meticulously, piece by piece, go around and find the pieces that were meant to be together, but also there's obviously pieces being lost over the years as well, so he's had to recreate new pieces, and he's done an incredible job. And again, it's going to be so nice to see a completed room with floors and everything like it is in here now. It's always felt like a bit of a dodgy place to be in here, because there's been floors missing everywhere, whereas now we've got a full floor. We want the same for the dining room, and then it'll be moving on to the billiard as well. And why we've been at it, me and Dad have been outside sorting the walls out. Obviously we've been up there cleaning them down, cleaning all the old mortar off, cleaning all the old render off, knocking off what needed to be, leaving what could be left, because it was too hard to actually knock off, so we know it's in good condition. And now it's a job of getting the next layer of mortar on. We've tried it, see how it goes. I think we're pretty sure of how we're going to do it. We know how it's going to go on, and it's going to be a fun process. It's going to take a few days, but we're looking forward to it. So hope you've enjoyed today's video. There's work going on everywhere. If you have, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you got the bell clicked for notifications. And we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
If you'd like to be part of our journey and help restore the chateau, then please join us on Patreon, where you'll be part of our journey, receive a piece of the history, and get exclusive videos.